This is The Weekly on ClickOrlando.com with Justin Warmoth.
Good morning, I'm Justin Warmoth. When lawmakers left Tallahassee a few weeks ago following the state's legislative session, they failed to address the major insurance crisis impacting homeowners across the state. Premiums are skyrocketing and policies are being dropped. This morning, Tom Cotton, the owner of Hugh Cotton Insurance in Orlando, is here to break down what got us in this mess and explain what you should do to protect your home. What is causing this crisis right now?
Well, the crisis in the homeowners industry is nothing new. It's a pot that's been boiling really for years, and we just keep kicking the can down the road. But the crisis that we're facing now is, in the last 2 years, homeowners carriers doing business in the state of Florida have had $3.5 billion in claims paid. $3.5 billion, and that is without there being a major storm across the coastline in the state of Florida. We have in Florida in 2021, there were 117,000 property claims filed for litigation, lawsuits filed for homeowners property claims, 117,000 in the state of Florida. In the other 49 states, there were 900. Okay, 900 lawsuits compared to 117,000. They're filing like 350 a day. So litigation is what is driving this.
Yeah, I mean, I know that this has been something that has needed to be addressed for years now, but why are folks seeing the dramatic rise in premiums? Is this just the culmination of nothing being addressed, and then this is the year where it's going up by these large numbers?
Well, that's a great question. And again, it's a culmination of things that have been brewing over a long period of time. Rates have been suppressed. All right. For a carrier to do business in Florida, they have to file their form, meaning the coverage contract that they wish to use, and their rates have to be approved by the state of Florida. And the state is very stringent in the rates they will approve. Also, Florida has an excess profits law. So you think that a carrier, ABC Insurance Company, that does business in Florida, that writes home and auto and business, that if they take a beating in auto or beating in home insurance, they make it up on profits elsewhere. That's not the case. Florida has an excess profits law by line. So if a carrier has a really good year in automobile, they have to give money back. And if a carrier has a great year in homeowners, those premiums are restricted. So you take a difficult administrative environment that the carriers have to submit themselves to, and then you add this claim environment with fewer carriers writing policies, carriers that are in financial peril, carriers that have failed, and your supply changes. It's a simple law of supply and demand. You know, if you've got 150 carriers all writing home insurance, it's going to be competitive and cheap. When you've only got a handful, it's going to be expensive. Couple that with rising reconstruction cost of homes, that's what's driving the rate increase.
Got it. Does the Surfside condo collapse play a role in this?
Not in Central Florida, not
Right.
in the Central Florida homeowners market. You know, the coastal condo market is something completely different. Coastal condo market is something that we have very limited exposure to, myself as an agent, Hugh Cotton Insurance, simply because that's not anything we wanted to really get involved in. That's not to say that we don't insure condos. We certainly do insure condominium complexes on the coast, condominium complexes here in Central Florida. It's just we don't have a big book of them. But it's there's going to be a legislatively driven issue there as to how free. Well, they already have to be inspected or have evaluation every 2 years. Now it's going to be a matter of state mandating inspections, I think, but it's not driving the homeowners crisis here.
All right. So legislative action was not taken during this last session. What ideally needs to happen? Is this a full overhaul?
No, it's not a full overhaul. It's a problem by problem issue that's being addressed. When I grew up right here in Central Florida, 62 years, I've never lived more than 1 block from where I'm sitting right now. And my porch always had mildew. Okay. This happens in Florida. Now, when the lawyers started calling it mold and it was bad for you, they started this crazy litigation, and you saw insurance companies adapt by limiting or excluding exposure to mold, spores, virus, bacteria, that sort of thing. And then the hot topic was water damage and water leaks, and the fraud exploded in the water area and in the restoration area. So insurance companies limited. Now you have carriers that either exclude water loss altogether or limit it to $10,000. Now the problem is roofs, and people are treating their homeowners policy as a warranty policy for a roof. When you buy a home, your home has consumables. Your appliances aren't going to last forever. Your roof is only going to have a 20 to 30-year life. So when a 25-year-old roof is damaged by a storm, it wasn't necessarily damaged because the storm was bad. It was damaged because the roof was old, and you're getting a brand new roof for this. So the fix is one of the proposals that Senator Boyd had when he wrote the bill was to make roofs an actual cash value. Okay, right now, if you have damage to your roof and it's 5 years old, you get a new roof. If your roof is 25 years old, you get a brand new roof. So the proposal was that, and again, I'm gonna paraphrase here just a little bit because I don't remember the exact wording of the bill. But if your roof is like 8 years old or less, you'll get a brand new roof. If it's like 8 to 12, you'll get 60%. 12 to 17 years old, you'll get 40%. So they replace what you've actually lost. Okay, a 20-year-old roof is damaged. You didn't lose a brand new roof. You lost a 20-year-old roof, and the value of that 20-year-old roof is the diminished value. The exceptions in the proposal were if your roof is damaged by a hurricane, regardless of age, you would still get a brand new roof. And if your house was a total loss due to catastrophic ground collapse, what you and I call sinkhole, a contract calls it catastrophic ground collapse, or a fire, you would still get a new roof. Part of the bugaboo was that your lenders require full replacement costs. And there were some challenges there. So the legislature really needs to address it and fix it. And once they do, I think you will see the market respond. It'll respond slowly, but the market will open up.
They didn't. And so a special session now is on the table. Now, a date has not been set for that, but it seems like the governor is leaving up to lawmakers to set a date, but is eyeing later this year. Is that too late? Does this need to be addressed right now, especially with hurricane season approaching in just a few months?
Well, we certainly hope it would have been addressed. And when I read in the paper that there may be a special session on the districting, I immediately texted my contacts in Tallahassee and said, hey, any chance we're going to get property tied into this? And the answer, and this is coming straight from people that talk to the governor's office every day, no, it's not going to happen. So I texted back, what are our chances? And they said that with the current House leadership, it is not going to happen. So again, the answer that I got from Tallahassee directly yesterday was when they swear in the new House Speaker, which will be in November, then there will be a special session on property prior to the regular legislative session in 2023. That's what I was told yesterday. Obviously, a lot can change, but people up there know that we have a problem. They know we need to get it fixed. It's, again, you got to play politics.
And as we often say, it only takes one storm. Coming up, what could happen to the insurance market if Central Florida is impacted by a major hurricane this season? Plus, what you should do if your premium jumped this year. Stay with us.
This is The Weekly on ClickOrlando.com with Justin Warmoth.
Welcome back. Our topic this morning, Florida's property insurance crisis. Homeowners all over the state seeing their rates jump, sometimes more than double, or worse, they're getting dropped altogether. It appears lawmakers won't address the problem until later this year. But what happens if Central Florida is impacted by a major hurricane before then? Tom Cotton, owner of Hugh Cotton Insurance, has that answer, plus some tips for homeowners. If we do get that storm this year, what does that look like? Is that a full-on collapse?
Wow, that's a great question. And we have a little saying amongst ourselves, those of us that are active in the insurance business and active in politics, is, this is a great plan if the wind don't blow. Okay, if the wind blows, everything changes. I think Mike Tyson always said, everyone has a plan till you get punched in the nose. So the same is true. We certainly pray that Florida will not suffer any catastrophes, because right now, our carriers, the carriers, and again, when I say carriers, we're talking about the homeowners market. Okay, we're not talking about the insurance industry in general. We're focusing on homeowners carriers. We are past the tipping point. We have a lot of carriers in very precarious positions. All right. Carriers, when they do business, they measure that in premium. But to do business in Florida, the law requires that you have a certain amount of surplus to support that premium. Surplus is your ability to pay claims, and they measure that as your premium to surplus ratio. Why these carriers are stopping doing business, why these carriers are canceling hundreds of thousands of policies, is they have to get their premium down because their surplus has been impaired by these excessive losses. Now, this problem is being exacerbated by the fact that the carriers that have failed, the Florida Insurance Guarantee Association, which is the state entity that pays the claims of bankrupt insurance companies. Okay, there is a support network there. If you have a carrier that goes broke, the state does have a support network that's funded by the other carriers. FIGA has authorized a $350 million assessment to pay the legacy claims of the carriers that have recently been placed into insolvency. The problem is when they do that, they tell each carrier what you owe to the FIGA fund, and then they will put an assessment on your homeowner's policy, on your automobile policy, on mine, on all policies written in Florida, but it'll be $1, $2, $3. And as they collect the money, they forward that on to FIGA to pay the claims as they come in. But the state has said, we want that $350 right now. So the carriers are having to pay their FIGA assessment, which further impairs their surplus. You get this? So if they got to write a $30 million check to pay their FIGA, that's like taking another $30 million in claims because it directly reduces their surplus. Now in July, the insurance companies begin their reinsurance treaty negotiations. Okay, that's the insurance that insurance companies buy, and the price you pay is based upon your financial strength. So they're already impaired. The FIGA makes their impairment worse. And now their reinsurance costs will either go up, which again will drive more rate increases, or they will be unable to purchase the same level of reinsurance they purchased in the past, which means that if the wind blows, they're more likely to fail. So you see how we're circling this drain, and it keeps getting worse and worse. And I know you may be sorry you ever asked me to answer these questions, but that's how it works.
No, it's impacting so many people. And I'm curious if you have any advice for homeowners who are seeing these premiums and saying that's too expensive, or any tips for prospective home buyers who are looking to buy. We know so many are, and they're looking for an affordable rate and they're not seeing it based on what we're dealing with and all the issues that are playing a role into this.
Again, you have asked a great question. First of all, what I tell people is, I'm in the business of selling insurance, and I want you to call my office. I want you to talk to my personal line staff. I want you to buy from us. Mm-hmm. But when someone calls our office and say, hey, I got a renewal, it went from 28 to 4,200, we say, stop right there. You got a renewal? Count yourself lucky, pay the bill. Don't hassle. And they're going, well, but I can't afford that. I said, okay, if you can't afford the increase, can you afford to replace your air conditioner and your roof? Because that's what you're going to have to do for me to get you a quote. So the advice, and again, you've asked a great question, and thank you for giving me the opportunity to say this on television, is if you have a renewal quote, count yourself lucky and take it. If you're buying a home, or if you're simply still curious about shopping, there's some things that we as agents have to have because the underwriters are requiring it. You're going to need to have what's called a 4-point inspection. That's where a professional home inspector comes out and they look at the roof, the air conditioning, the plumbing, and the electric. And it will give us the age and condition. A lot of carriers, if your roof is more than 5 years old, they won't take it. Some are 10. If you have a flat roof, when I say flat, it's usually a rock and tar roof, carriers won't take you. It's befuddling to me because a rock and tar roof will last 50 years, but they don't take rock and tar roofs. If you have polybutyl plumbing or any galvanized plumbing, they won't take it. If you have copper wiring, they won't take it. If you have stab lock or Federal Pacific fuse panels, they won't take it. Your air conditioner is more than 20 years old. Your hot water heater is more than 15 years old. you're going to have to replace those things. So there's a lot of money to be spent. If your increase went from 2,800 to 4,200 and you don't want to pay it, you might have to spend a lot of money to keep a lower premium. They also do what is called a wind mitigation inspection. That looks at the nail patterns of the truss plates and the size of the nails and the accuracy of the nailing. So a good 4-point and a wind mitt that says that you've got a well-constructed home help you considerably.
Now, let me ask you this, because I know that this also plays, you can tell me better than I know, but does the Citizens insurance that it's the state-backed insurance, is that the default for some folks who can't, afford, or they're getting dropped? Is that where they're going?
Yeah, a lot of folks are ending up in Citizens, and you can't see it, but there's on my wall right behind me is a gift from the Governor Bush, because I was the chairman of the board of the State Agents Association when Citizens was created. And Citizens was created to save the state like $70 million in taxes when they merged the Residential Property and Casualty Joint Underwriting Association with the wind pool. Citizens is a merger of those two entities. The challenge is, because there was some politics behind it, Tom Gallagher was the insurance commissioner. He was running for governor. When Citizens was put together, the law says that Citizens can't charge a rate that's less than the average of the 10 highest private carriers in the area. Citizens wasn't intended to be a competitive market. But the figures they were using when Citizens were created were like 8 or 9 years old. So when Citizens was created, it was the most price competitive product there was, which is why Citizens exploded. It became the second largest homeowner insurer in the country. So Citizens has done a lot. Barry Gilway, the head of Citizens, has done a phenomenal job in getting the policy writing down. Citizens is now financially strong. They can take major losses, but Citizens has doubled in size in the last year. The rates are still not actuarially sound completely. So a lot of these policies are ending up in Citizens because that's the entity that is created to be able to take homes that are otherwise uninsurable, but it's also competitive in some areas. So it shouldn't be, but a lot of people are going there. But Citizens also has rules. They won't take everything. They still have to have their own type of inspection, and a Citizens inspection can be more stringent than the regular 4-point. So you mentioned Citizens, but it's not an automatic entry.
Mm-hmm. I think that was the point I was trying to get across, is that people just think if their private insurer is dropping them or raising their rates, they can just go there and find a lower rate and get automatically insured. And that's not the case. That was basically the point I was trying to make. Is that accurate?
Yes.
Yeah.
That's accurate. You've asked a great question. Again, sorry for a long answer. But there's so much information that the general public does not know. Okay, insurance is bought and sold as a commodity for the most part by both people that sell it and by the people that buy it. They want faster and cheaper. And in what world do you get something better for less money? And insurance is a contract. It is a written contract. It is not a commodity. So you have to very carefully look at what the contract says. And cheaper is not always better. In fact, in the insurance business, the exact opposite is true.
And my thanks to Tom Cotton for his insight this morning. For more information on Florida's home insurance crisis, just head over to clickorlando.com/weekly. I'm Justin Mormith. Hope you have a great Sunday.